Draft season's here. We've got our first draft spotlight, and it's with a special friend of mine, Justin Clark of the Wisconsin Badgers, who is now entering the 2023 NFL Draft. Justin, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, and I appreciate you taking the time coming on and sharing a bit of your story because obviously you've been a couple of places. You're a veteran in the collegiate kind of ranks, and now you get to try and experience your dream here with the 2023 draft.
Right, right.
But starting off, let's just get back, go into the story of what you faced this year. You were transferred from Toledo,
hmm
coming into Wisconsin, a new system.
Yep.
First 4 weeks don't necessarily go as planned, and then Coach Paul Chris gets fired. Talk to me about the transition, not only with you having to deal with the hamstring prior to the season, but also the transition from coaching staff to coaching staff in the middle of the year after already trying to acclimate at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, last year was a crazy year, man. Just all the adversity we dealt with as a team. Like just so much stuff, man, with just, different teammates, other places, and just so much, you know, anger, frustration, confusion, you know, not knowing if Leonard was gonna be the guy or not. It was crazy. And yeah, just for me, man, it was definitely a challenging year. Um, Kind of remind me of my COVID season. Injury riddle. Came in. Played pretty well spring ball. Um, Supposed to be, it's gonna be like probably the star nickel. It's gonna be, one of the, in my opinion, the key players on that defense. And then camp, hamstring injury, sideline for a while. Even my guy, I call him Juice, Alexander. Him, he was going to be another starter.
Right, he was out. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was challenging, having those expectations and then coming back. Still played well when I came back, but wasn't had to kind of like get back in the rhythm. And then obviously when I came back, a few weeks after that, having another injury. So it was definitely challenging, but yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I talked to your teammate Jay Shaw around kind of mid-season. We had a good talk about the challenges you faced. Jay talked to me about how, like, you're coming from a system where you've been fully acclimated, the players, defenses can click, and then you have to rebuild those relationships, but also deal with the aftermath of the coaching situation. How tough was that transition in a way mid-season, understanding also that you were going through the injuries on your own, trying to rehabilitate yourself?
Right. I think in my case, it was more so for me. And I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, it was the more so the injuries, not being able to be out there available for my teammates, because I feel like I displayed in the spring, and during those the first week of fall camp what I could do healthy. For me, it was just the injury part. When it came to the system, coach, I knew Coach Poteet, for a while because at Toledo,
Right.
so it kind of was like for me, it was kind of like it was easier to kind of like make that transition. He made it easier on me to make that transition because I already had a relationship with him. So
Yeah,
um,
and I mean, you talk about the understanding that you're going to play nickel. Seems like Wisconsin has had that similar mentality these past 2 years where they've brought in via the transfer portal to play the nickel, understanding how tough of a position it is. You ended up playing a lot on the outside, splitting reps with Jay last year. Kind of, did that alter how you were going to play in a way, understanding that you were flip flopping sometimes between the nickel to the outside with the versatility that the system required of you?
yeah. At first, it was funny because when I got switched back to outside, I played outside in the spring and the summer just a little bit, a couple of plays. It was mainly man, but I never played like the most of the schemes out because it was different schemes within inside and outside. And learning how to play your role. So when I got moved back to outside, I had kind of had to learn how to play certain coverages within that scheme as the outside corner and not the nickel. So it took me a couple of weeks to kind of figure that out. That was
Mhm.
challenging too. So
Yeah. And I know you've obviously had a lot of experience. This was, I think, your seventh season, right after the red shirt and the COVID season with in college. And before Wisconsin, you were part of what I'd say was a pretty stacked secondary. I mean, Samuel Womack, I obviously
Mm-hmm.
have great experience with the 49ers, Samuel Womack, and then a couple of good safeties as well.
Yeah.
How was that experience and really getting to learn from there as a cornerback?
Yes. I mean, when we was at Toledo, you know, those guys, we all tried to make each other like easier. Knowing that I had Tyson on the back end helping me out was make my job easier. Knowing that I had Womack on the side, knowing that he could hold down his side. Um, yeah, man, it was fun playing with those guys. Those still my brothers. Um, and yeah, I gotta reach out to them at some point.
Yeah, man. And let's kind of get into this draft process now a little bit. You talk about um, the difficulties, especially with the injuries. Are you 100% now? What's kind of your status going into this draft process?
Yeah, so yeah, I'm getting there. I'm definitely getting 100%. I had that ankle injury. That obviously sidelined me the rest of the season. Took me a while. I had to do a lot of rehab, do a lot of just staying patient. And now I'm getting back to where close to 100%, and I expect to be ready on pro day. And just ready to put your best foot forward. Um, I have a pretty good trainer. And also was taken care of by the trainers of Wisconsin. Before I left, they did a good job of kind of like helping me through like the I would say like the worst part of the injury,
Hmm.
so to speak.
And talking about kind of the pro day and things like that, do you anticipate you'll be able to do everything at the pro day, kind of showcase scouts your entire range of skills?
Yeah, I definitely want to, because I think that's like the biggest question. How is he gonna look? With that injury, with injuries, during the season, how I'm gonna look. Pro. I definitely expect to do most of everything, just to show scouts that I am healthy and still the same guy, even better, right? So yeah, I'm looking forward to it though.
Yeah, definitely. And for those of you that don't know, Wisconsin's Pro Day, I believe, is March 23rd, coming up in just a little over 2 weeks. I'll be in attendance. You heard it from Justin. He's going to be there as well. It'll be a fun day where a lot of the top talents, we've heard about the Keanu Bentons, the Nick Herbigs, the Joe Tippmans, but a lot of talents like Justin will also be there in attendance. So that's good to hear. But Justin, kind of shying away from the Pro Day and all the other parts about football, which are really important to your personnel, but also the other side of you, the kind of the human being side. A lot of people forget about the human side. Kind of just let fans know exactly who you are. Maybe let's start with what's your major in college and kind of what are some of your aspirations that you did and are looking to do.
Yeah, so I majored in so I graduated from the University of Toledo. I majored in marketing, minor in business. I actually was a semester away from getting a double major with 2 degrees in criminal justice and marketing.
Okay,
Um, and eventually I'm gonna go back and get that. I'm only a few classes, but yeah. So with that, outside of football, I still want to be around the game. Wherever I'm done playing. Whether it's coaching, training, or whatever. And then one day, probably just want to be able to own something. Being able to be in charge of something, being kind of the boss. Everybody want to be the boss. So
yeah. I mean, I feel that. I feel that for sure. Kind of having that the leadership role, the ownership of
yep,
something.
yep.
In college, what were kind of apart from football, what were kind of things that you look to do outside of football, just as a part of you and who you are?
I mean, most of the time, like if I'm not at practice, like I'm playing the game. Like if I'm not doing football, I'm playing the game. I'm watching like movies or something. Like I just like to kind of game in my free time to kind of just keep me out of doing dumb stuff, in my
I feel
opinion.
you. I feel you. I know
So
what you mean. Yeah.
yeah,
I gotta ask, Toledo or Wisconsin? Which one was the better experience for you?
the better experience.
Yeah.
They both was different experiences. Um, Wisconsin. Obviously I was only there for a year. It was more like the big college experience. Especially those Saturdays. You see all those people out there waiting. 2-3 hours before kickoff. We on the buses. it was like, man, like, these people really dedicated over here to their sports. And that's one thing I like about Madison. They love sports, whether it's football, basketball, volleyball. Like, people really love sports, and that's what I love about Madison. But yeah, Toledo, man, that was a huge part of like my development as a player. Um, and I still got love for guys over there. Big credit to my guy, Coach B. It's my weight room coach. He took me from being a scrawny kid and put some weight on me. Um, but yeah, man, those guys over there, they did. That was a huge part of my development as a player. And when I got to Wisconsin, I was just want to just elevate it. Wanted to just elevate my game, from that
Yeah.
development. So yeah,
What are you weighing at now?
about 184, 185.
Okay, so around what, 5'10", 5'11", 185, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good. What was kind of like one of the goals that you were looking to accomplish coming into college, and one that you might have accomplished itself?
Uh, to just develop as a player, and figure out who I was as a person. Um, and I think coming out of high school, I always played football, so I was always with people, surrounded by people, but didn't really never get a chance to like reflect, who I was as a person. And then when you go to college, you meet never new people, new experiences, so you kind of you find out a lot about yourself. So that's one thing I think I accomplished. The main thing I accomplished, I feel like.
That's good. That's good. And kind of on the flip side, going into the NFL, if you do end up making it, and if you do achieve your dreams, what's kind of like the first thing you're looking forward to when you reach that stage?
The first thing, um, that's a good question.
You got that
Um,
check, you got the work, you got everything. Kind of what's you looking forward to?
uh, for me, it's I don't know. For me, it's not so much about just the money. I guess um, to get with my coaches and get with the players the best players on that team, and kind of pick their brains and kind of
Hmm.
whether it's all pros or they've been Pro Bowlers, kind of whoever it is that whatever team I end up on, kind of just you know picking a brain and kind of seeing like what the daily regiments they use to get to that point, so I can kind of like imitate what they did, to get to that point. Because I also want to be in their shoes, right? Everybody want to be in the league, but it's like how good do you want to be when you get there? I feel like.
And talking about picking those players, who are some of the guys who you personally look up to in the NFL, be it their play style, be it the way that they are on film, or personality wise? Who are kind of your favorites?
DBs. I liked Revis growing up.
Ah,
Revis is one of my favorites. Chan Bailey, even Ramsey. I like Ramsey. I like the aggression he played with, um, not being it goes back to like my old coach, Coach Poteet, like dog mentality. I like Ramsey because he played with a dog mentality.
yeah.
That's what I'm gonna try to carry um, to the next level. So
I mean, it's important as a DB. You've got to have that dog mentality because you're going to be beat. You're going to
right,
be beat at sometimes. You got to understand that you're going to face those issues, and so you got to just let it go, move on to the next play, and continue to play hard.
right.
But talking about kind of that mentality, talking about it all, in the in the NFL now, what are you kind of looking forward to with those position groups, with those DBs? What's the way that you think you can kind of shine out? What are you looking to prove in a way?
You just gotta be extra. It gotta be something about you that separates you from the competition. Because at that level, everybody talented, everybody fast, everybody quick, got good feet. So it gotta be something about you that can separate. Whether it's film study, whether it's you know getting with your coaches, taking care of your body, um, anything like that. But mainly film study. I feel like
Yeah.
because that's what my coaches, even Coach Poteet, that's what the one thing he told me that separates guys is studying your film because it's at that point it's your job. Like you got to really um, take it serious day by day. So
And I mean, talking about part of that, right? film study, getting your body ready. Injuries obviously are unfortunate. They're a part of the game.
Yep.
You've faced some of them yourself. How have those experiences helped you learn how to kind of better treat your body and get ready for like more play, pretty much?
Yes. And I'm that's a big challenge for me as well. Even now, that I'm still learning. It's just taking the next step. Whatever you got to do, whether it's stretching, you know, rolling out, whether it's getting massages, whether it's, um, you know, chiropractic, whatever you need. It's just taking that next step, taking initiative. You know, because I think people get caught up in like, yeah, you got to do extra work. When it comes to football, but you also have to do extra work when it comes to your body, because that's at the end of the day, like that's what carries you. That's what gonna get you to where you want to go. So, um, and that's still something I got to get better at. Just taking that extra mile when it comes to your body,
Right.
feeling good. So
Yeah, no, definitely. Transitioning to some of the players that you played with on this past year defense, let's start with Nick Herbig. What did you see? How did you learn from him, the way he approaches the game, and what did you kind of see from him as a not only as a player but also a person?
yeah, Herbert, man, Herbert, man, that's my guy. He crazy. That boy crazy. He crazy, man. But no, that's my guy. He take it serious. You know, um, you know, whether it's the weight room, whether we was doing a walkthrough in the summers, some 7-on-7s, he taking it serious because he understand how important it is. And you see it when he playing. Like people always say like he undersized or blah blah blah, but he had a real good year. I mean, I think he led the Big Ten in sacks. So it's like, I mean, I think his play speaks for itself. It really don't matter, how much he weigh or what they think about him. He got that dog in him. So
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, some of the other guys, Keanu Benton, obviously with his energy.
yep,
How was the energy kind of this team? How important was it, especially with such a tumultuous season?
yep,
How important was that energy throughout the year?
yeah. I mean, all we did, we just stuck together. Was just like a true brotherhood. No matter what happened, and we faced some adversity each week. I think it was the week Coach Chris got fired. It was after Illinois, and we had a Northwest. We had to play Northwestern coming up, going on the road. And I just remember, guys saying we got to move forward. And that whole week of practice, we tried to, not so much act like nothing ever happened, but we just kind of like, you know, had to, kind of like a DB has short-term memory and kind of like
Mhm.
move forward. And you know, we put together a good performance that week. So
Yeah, I mean, people could say that's your best performance of the year, albeit
yeah,
against Northwestern itself, but a great performance that week. And it does speak to the way that this team kind of rebounds. About the team and about some of the younger guys, I know you guys had Rico Hallman start for a couple of games, and then guys like Avion Jones and those type of players who were there from not only from last year but also this year. What would you say to them amidst all the coaching changes with Leonard not being there anymore? What's kind of that message to those guys under the new regime with the way that they've been going so far?
yeah, Rico played a lot for us. He got a promising future. Um, it's just a new challenge. It's a new coaches, so you got to prove yourself all over again. And we told Rico, it's no different than last year in spring ball. We brought in three corners. You still got to do it all over again. But I got no doubt in my mind that he gonna be all right. So
And you brought up Alex Smith earlier. He
yeah,
was one of my favorite players. You two, I thought, were the two best defensive backs on the team last year, and I made that clear. What did you see from his performance this past year, the way that he battled back from his injury, but also what do you expect from him this year under a new coaching staff?
yeah, man, Alex. Um, I call him Juice, but yeah, it was tough because like I was with him every day, so like I could see like the work he was trying to put in, and he just kept having setback after setback. And it was frustrating, because like we both was like going through the same thing. And when I came back, it was kind of playing through it, still feeling it. But the fact that it was so bad for him that he couldn't even get on the field. I could feel for him. But he came back and played well, man. I'm expecting this year it's gonna be the year. It's gonna be like his breakout year. He stay healthy. It's gonna be fun to see him.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Kind of to wrap things up here, Justin, talking about yourself, if you don't get the opportunity in the NFL this year, be it on a practice squad, be it on tryouts, what do you want to do? What's your goal to try and get to that stage?
My goal to get what
Back to that NFL stage, be
uh,
it in a tryout, practice squad, whatever it may be.
yeah, I mean, whatever I gotta do, whatever's necessary. You know, I got guys that I know that's playing in the NFL that I feel like I measure up to, and I don't feel like they are better than me. So, whatever I got to do, even when you get on the team, whatever you can do to feed your family, whether it's special teams, whether it's practice squad or whatever, like you got to do whatever you got to do to make a living. That's what it's all about, you know. So
Yeah, no, exactly. And last questions. Speaking on those in the NFL, Sam Womack, you had obviously uh, a good amount of years with him. What could you
yeah.
say about him as a teammate of his in college? What was he like, personality wise, and also play wise? And what do you expect from him this year?
Yeah, man. Whoa, man. That's my guy. Nah, man. Me and him, man, we was real close. Um, it's funny because like he started off when he came in. I told him like, man, just stay patient because like he was kind of like a late bloomer, kind of like I was like in college. Like, um, he kind of like had to work on some things, kind of better his game. And I used to tell him like, man, you gonna be good, man. If you just keep going. Like he just kept getting better each year. And now he with the 49ers, but all he gotta do is just stay focused. I see him on special teams, and that's the key. If he can keep doing well on the
Exactly.
special teams, he gonna find his way on that field often and soon. So I wish him the best of luck. Him and Tyson, they both my boys. Tyson with the
Mhm.
Cincinnati Bengals. So
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, it's cool to see Toledo players having that lineage now to the NFL in a way, and all from the same room, that stacked
yep,
DB room that you guys had.
yep.
But uh, last thing, Justin, anything you want to shout out yourself? Any personal ventures you've got? Go ahead right now.
Now, hey, shout out to my boy, man, Quinyon. He Toledo DB too. He was in that room with us. He was a younger guy, but he had a great year this year. Watch out for my man.
Hey, you heard it here first. But Justin, I appreciate your time. Uh, Great time covering you last year with the Badgers.
Yeah,
All the best with your draft process. For those of you guys
appreciate
listening,
it.
thank you guys so much for listening as well, and appreciate you for telling your story. We'll be back soon with
Yep,
some more content. And Pro Day, March 23rd. Stay tuned. But all right, guys, we'll catch you guys next time. Justin, appreciate you, and
yep,
we'll see you
appreciate you.
later.